RoepRegstreeks bly op hoogte van die nuutste gebeure in jou Christenwêreld. Vandag deel ons onlangse gebeure vanuit die Weskaap.
I'd love to know, where did the idea originate for 1,000 Women, One Voice?
Well, actually, it originated in Birmingham, Alabama. I was there on a company visit, and I was invited to a lunch. Birmingham, Alabama is about the same size as Port Elizabeth, and I thought if they can do it here in such a small town, we can do it in Cape Town. Tina Tiarts actually at that point came to see me and she said, need to raise funds, we need to do something of impact for women. And I suggested this, I told her about the lunch, and she became terribly enthusiastic.
I was a fundraiser for the We Trust, which is a women's fund, and I was part of a movement called Women Moving Millions in America, and I had to propose an event, a fundraising event, and as life is, you know, when you phoned me and said, Tina, come look at this, what do you think? And the next day I phoned America, and the very afternoon I went back to Wendy's office and we sat down. It was after a golf day at the Valley Country Club, and we started organizing the event.
That's brilliant. And tell me, what event did you organize, and how did you start creating the awareness of this organization?
Yeah, I think what's important is that Wendy and I sat down and we identified 12 other women who we knew came out of abusive relationships, and we decided to do the whole event around gender-based violence. And it was easy to go to them and say, please, can you mobilize 12 other women and bring them to a launch event? Where we then came, we were about 50 women in the room. We sat down and we spoke to them about having this event. And all of them said that it's time that South African women fund their own emancipation. Right. So we selected gender-based violence, and we really work hard to move millions for women's organizations.
Been coming here probably for the last 7 or 8 years, always enjoying it, always nice to see all these women together, beautiful, gorgeous, just loving every moment and just supporting one another, and that's great.
I'm here, to be part of the plight and the campaign, for against the women abuse. So that is one of many things that 1,000 Women stands for, but I'm here just to be part of that and to be in solidarity with that.
Standing together with women that has been abused, also gone through that. I've also got a life transformation NGO which also stand together with women that has gone through abuse. So we're excited to be part of this awesome event.
Well, it's always lovely to see a lot of women under one roof and standing together. In my immediate family, I deal a lot with helping my siblings, sisters, mother even. So yeah, this is a sign I'm not alone, and you always have, no one is an island. So if I can talk to someone here about other people's stories that's inspirational, it's a pick up for me.
All the women that come here, they come here for a reason, and that is to support one another. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous, but the idea is, that they support one another in what's happening in their lives, whether it be emotionally, physically, spiritually. When they come here, they're being uplifted, they're being encouraged. They look forward to the other day, the next year, until we meet again.
Kyk, die ding is daar moet baie meer gedoen word, en ons het dit nodig omdat daar aksie is. Ons praat, maar daar moet goed gedoen word. So geleenthede soos hierdie, hooplik sien ons die uitwerking daarvan, en dit is 'n ongelooflike geleentheid.
Please tell me, for yourself personally, your heart and your passion around this topic of ladies and women that are abused. I mean, all the way from children right up to, ladies in their old age. How has it touched your life, and what is your heart and passion?
I think being an abuse survivor on its own just makes this particular conversation an important one for me. I think that I'm passionate about it because you absolutely cannot build a society that is functional when its fundamental shoulders, which are females, is broken. And we cannot be raising our kids, our boys, our daughters in a society that thinks it's okay to abuse people. You know, this conversation should be an everyday thing. The resolves should be coming on a daily basis. It looks different for each environment. It looks different for work environment, society, and within relationships. For me, it's important for us to cultivate soft skills. And I say that in inverted commas because we underrate the power of personal development. And fundamentally, that's where some of the breakage comes from. It comes from not knowing how to man relationships. And today is one of those days where we tackle and look at possible ways we can actively be part of changing our frame of reference when it comes to abuse.
You know, there are really thousands of women who work in small communities where gender-based violence is really rife, and they work every day relentlessly without giving up and without pay to help other women to escape the whole nest and web of violence. So for me, it's all about them. It's putting money in their hands, it's putting knowledge in to them, and it's giving them the resources so that they can go provide for others at home. We've shifted a bit because we now focus on healing. And as you know in the newspapers, trauma and trauma healing is really terrible. At the same stage, we're sitting with children at school who's been bullied. And they tell me, the research tells me, that 90% of bullies at school will turn out to be those perpetrators when they are grown up. Wow. So, and you know, you read about children taking their own lives. You know, so to me it's really terrible. We can't stop, we have to move, and we have to move millions so that ordinary school teachers would have tools and women at grassroots will have resources.
Yeah.
I was always aware of abused women. I'm sad to say, a few of my friends had been in abusive relationships, and I was very aware, and I was also very aware that I was in a very secure and happy relationship. And I felt that more people ought to benefit from this sort of life.
Yeah. And tell me the purpose of 1,000 Women, One Voice. What would you summarize as the purpose of it?
Awareness of the abuse around us. Awareness that South Africa is unfortunately the fourth worst country in the world for abused women and children. And I think that is such a huge stain on our wonderful country. We've got so much to offer. We're such a beautiful country, but we've got this very, very sick underbelly, and we have to do something about it.
And in terms of that sick underbelly, obviously you were moved by compassion, you were moved by, you know, being practical about it as well. How do you feel over the last 14 years you guys have been effective in helping abused women? I mean, it can be statistical, but also how do you feel about the influence that you guys have been able to
it's very difficult to quantify because we are right in front of it, and the more people we help, the more come forward. So I can't say that we have got any marvelous results. It's not that kind of a program. It's just an awareness. More people are coming forward so that there is more awareness, and hopefully, and then when you see people like the film stars who get together and start the Me Too campaign and expose it internationally, all that helps.
It helps.